Our mission is to provide grief support, comfort, and remembrance items for families who've had a loss during pregnancy and childbirth. My name is Sarah Ringel, and I'm the founder of Forget Me Not Baskets. Starting a family and expecting a baby is such a life-changing, exciting experience for families. But when there is a loss, that excitement turns to, it's just such devastating news. So many times parents have come to us and shared how lonely and isolating of a time it is.
A doctor came in and the screen was turned away from us, so we couldn't see. And he was looking around, and it was silence. It was dead silent. And he just told us that she didn't have a heartbeat and there wasn't any fluid surrounding her.
At that point, Nick and I didn't need the doctors to say those words because we had seen enough ultrasounds to know that his heart was no longer beating.
One day I went out to my mailbox and I received a letter from a mom, and I was so excited to just have that connection of somebody who's received our items to be on the receiving end. And so I opened up the letter with some excitement, and quickly, realized that there was, a real truth and sadness to this story. But this mom, wrote to me that she was absolutely devastated for receiving a consolation prize for having a dead baby by getting our baskets. It was so harsh to read those words, but it was her truth. Because when she saw our baskets, it represented something that no parent wants to face, the fact that their baby had died. She wanted absolutely nothing to do with our baskets. The nurses did their job though, because that basket did end at home with that mom. And she went on to write, after a few weeks of being home, she decided at staring at that basket in the corner of the room that she decided to go through it. And as she did, she read every word, she smelled every smell, and she noticed her baby's footprints throughout the entire basket inside of books and on sheets of paper and on the birth certificate. And she came to realize that something that she thought represented loss will now and forever represent and be in remembrance of her baby. And she was just really appreciative of that in the end.
I had just had the DNC, and I was just kind of I don't even know how to feel at this point. It was crazy because we walked away from the hospital with nothing except for, memories and sadness. And it was a few weeks after that I got this box in the mail, and I'm like, what is this? And opened it, and she said a small gift. It was not small. it was so, I wish I would have known what was in it or what to expect before. I may have waited before opening it, but it was just a flood of emotions. It was the most thoughtful thing that anyone had done for me, related to the loss at all.
One of the first items that was really impactful, I took the book out that was from Jonah's box. And there was one random time when I was just having a really rough day, and JD brought me that one book, and it was Don't Cry Mama, There's No Tears in Heaven. Okay, I was done. It's just how sweet the book was, and it was perfect at that moment.
Yeah, so we delivered at Akron General Hospital, and they get baskets from Forget Me Not, and our nursing staff was just wonderful. They were very compassionate, and after hearing the news that Noah wasn't alive and we still had to deliver, they didn't give us a whole basket all at once. They were very deliberate about giving us one little piece out of the basket every time they came to the room. First they gave Tina the elephant, the the stuffed elephant, and then like the next time they came in, they would put a wristband on the elephant's leg. So it was very, it was almost like a scavenger hunt, because every time they came in, you're looking to see what they do this time.
We provide very purposeful things in our baskets. Everything in our baskets has a purpose. We don't put anything in there just because it's cute or it looks nice. It's grief support, comfort, and remembrance. So the purposeful things you're going to find in our basket, when I talk about grief support, it's items like books, grief support groups, resources for as far as what happens when your milk comes in, what do I do with that? It's all those little things to kind of help them through, to kind of start that grief journey. And so to us, it's very important to provide these families with multiple items of comfort. A lot of our things are curated specifically in our area, locally sourced, and are lavender and vanilla scented, just to kind of have that soft touch and feel. And then last, my personal mission has always been to try to provide as many tangible items of remembrance for families, because when they leave that hospital or that doctor's office, most likely they will never receive anything else in remembrance of their child. And so it is my personal mission for us to provide as many tangible items of remembrance that they can have and hold. Grief doesn't just affect the families, it affects the nursing staff as well. As we kind of go into these new locations and we talk to the nursing staff, we've learned so much. And one of the things is that the beautiful thing that Forget Me Not Baskets provides is consistency. So many times nurses will go into that bereavement closet to gather things for a family who've just experienced a loss, to learn that it's no longer there. So then they're out using their own dollars, their own time, trying to gather things for them because they just want them to have something and not go home empty-handed. Forget Me Not Baskets changes that for hospitals. It allows the nurses and the staff and the doctors to concentrate on the care that they are wonderful at, to give them the support that they need, because they know that the grief support items and the remembrance items are already there and will always be there, and they're consistent, they know what we provide, and they know what's available to them.
I feel like having something tangible to hand them and to be able to sit with them, because the emergency room is such a loud and noisy place. We can tone it down with a quiet one-on-one with this couple, and by handing them this basket, we are able to really connect with them in the room.
That's what Forget Me Not Baskets does. They fill in those blanks that we may not always be able to do ourselves. They just show that family that they are loved, they are supported, and that they are not alone. And I just can never thank this organization enough.
Forget Me Not is so important to us because we are able to provide these patients comfort, and it helps them with their healing process. It starts the healing process here in the hospital, and then you and Forget Me Not continue that after discharge.
You know, what really solidified for me how valuable the items are in the Forget Me Not baskets is when I had a dad return one time who had experienced a loss here, and he wore the awareness pin on a regular basis and had lost that pin, and he came to us just feeling really distraught that he didn't have that anymore. So we were able to provide him with a new one so that he could continue to wear that and remember his child.
In October of 2007, we donated one basket to our local hospital. And in October of 2023, we donated our 10,000th basket. And we still have so much more to do. We will continue doing what we are doing until we make our baskets available to every hospital, every birthing center, every emergency room and OBGYN office that we possibly can. Forget Me Not Baskets, we cannot change the outcome for these families, but together we can give them the love and the support they so desperately deserve and need.